One. Oh.
In the horsepower.
Yeah.
It's, well, I'm using the laptop camera
Okay.
and we have microphones on the table. We have to
Do
raise
we have
it.
a phone, Anita?
We do. H is over there and with you two we're a quorum.
What happened to Libby?
Libby is with her grandkids today. Linda is taking Stamper to a doctor's appointment.
I'm glad I came because
I am
We're still
really
in
glad.
the-
I'm glad you came also.
I had to insist with our, we need to go, we need to go. And I said, why I'm still sick? I said, there's so much.
Oh, this is Bill's breakdown of his fee, and at the bottom of this one tells us what his overall fee is gonna be somewhere. And maybe it's on this, no, it's on this one. Yeah,
So they want me to sign this now or something?
that's today's disbursement, yes, please. Do we need to vote on it or anything?
Well, if Bill, he says it's a part of his fee. then everything can-
I don't think we need to vote on
You've
it.
already voted on this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
This is just
So we can
for-
just, yeah.
Good.
Been a long term.
Been a long
Thank you.
journey.
Thank you. We are trying. Thank goodness that was closed. I don't want that to happen again. We are trying out new microphones. That's one you can hear. We're trying out new microphones today. There's one here and one there, so I'm hoping that it catches everybody. You can have mine.
This is the one that came from London.
Yes. Your kids autograph on minutes and director's financial report. So H, Linda is not estimated today, so as vice president, do you want to run the meeting or would you like
Second row.
to run the meeting or do you want me to? What's that? Do you want to run it or do you want me to? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, really good.
Still hungry.
Go ahead and call us. please.
At this time, I'd like to call the order. And we have missed. First of all, I guess I need the approval of the minutes.
Yes.
Motion for the minute.
A second.
All in favor?
Okay, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. The director's financial report.
That is. Okay. The clerk called with the delinquent tax and ad valorem tax right after our last meeting, so I went and picked those up, and delinquent tax was $771.90. The ad valorem tax was $8,444.40. We had Department of Revenue motor vehicles check, and that was $5,029.06. We had sheriff call about what we had to check from the sheriff for gas, oil, and LSG, and that was 343 minutes. Can you let them in the? $343.80. And then we had share franchise account payment for $402.87. Earlier this month, we had the clerk with the
Well,
input tax, and that
there
was
we go.
$2,399.55. And the clerk with ad valorem for $7,145.76. And in petty cash, we took in $348 at the end of May, and we took in $133, and this is copies, printouts, book sale, and fax at the beginning of this month. And then Neon brought me $600 in cash, and I deposited 500 of that. So, and then from Square, we had $20.68 for a grand total revenue of $25,539.02. We had a lot of payouts. We got a circular sought.
And, yeah,
Oh, they're in.
okay,
No, wait, sorry. Yeah, they're in. It's okay.
all right,
Just keep an eye out, see if anybody else wants them.
okay.
Circular drill bit and a few other things from Lowe's for $39.90. And our last meeting, we had some double quick food, and it's $40.27 and $6.34. Tessa and Josh went to GameStop, and they got $300 worth of video games. And then they bought us a Switch for programming, because we're gonna have a Super Smash Brothers tournament and a Mario Kart tournament over the summer, and then we're gonna do it with other libraries in the region. So their total spend at GameStop was $686.78. And then we ordered some Oriental trading for Jenkins, and that was $295.36. I've sent off our certification renewal applications, and that was $5.31 at the post office. And then we had $77.50 at Dollar Tree for programming. Spent $9 to mail out your packets last week. Walmart purchases, we spent $161.49 at Walmart for programming, and then $78.74 for janitorial supplies and programming, and then $49.21 for programming and office supplies. And then I wrote a check to Lighten Enterprises for cleaning the windows at Harry and Cottle and at the Neon Branch for $137.80. And then the check to the State Board for Certification of Librarians for 6 librarian certification renewals was $120. And then I put the wire transfer for the Neon computers on here also, and that was $11,649.50 for a total spend out of $13,357.20.
Okay, have any discussion?
Any questions?
Motion to approve.
A second.
Motion second, all those in favor,
Aye.
all opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
That's it.
Before we move on to the treasurer's report, can I get your initials on this page to show that this was approved? And on the next page for the minutes.
Okay, now we have the treasurer's report.
Would you let them
Yeah.
do his
Do you guys want to go first?
presentation first before I do mine?
No, we'll wait.
No, go ahead. You and Brian, yeah.
All right, this is the bid submission. with Supporting materials, and if you wanted to have a see it, I could hand it out. If you want to.
Sure.
Or is it
No, we can hang it
Yeah,
on.
good. Thank you.
I have a
Thank
copy.
you very much. Oh, you do?
It's in my,
Oh,
my
it's in your-
box.
Okay, good. Oh, well, it's just, you don't have, they're all the same and,
Can you guys hear me okay? Can you hear all of us okay?
yeah. Aaliyah, you don't, here's a original letter to you, so if you
Okay.
wanted to have that too. so. It's just his documents for. you
Okay.
know, for the whole bid.
I'll put it in my folder.
Great, thank you. And I wanted to give you this little souvenir about what we're doing. Not easy. And you can see the aerial view of the library and our proposed.
It's me. It's under the-
Four
No.
It's under the
different
computer. Can you handle it?
agencies for approval. But it was interesting.
Thank you.
But Brian gave us the only bid. He's a courageous bidder. And the bid price is here, and we analyzed it, especially in front of at the rear end of the pandemic and the markets and all these things. And I think this is a good price for what we're going to have to do now.
How
We would recommend it.
long approximate time would it take to complete from start to finish?
Well, Brian has, with his contract, he put an add-on, which was that he needed time until the middle of July,
Which
coming
is
up.
fine, because we're gonna have to order supplies anyway.
Yeah, thank you.
Just like the new door and frame here, will be 6 to 8 weeks to get that door frame for the new storage. Of course, we want to do this work during the dry season, so we don't want to wait, to November to start, but we've got a couple projects going on, and just be very transparent. I mean, to fit our schedule, we'll try to start sooner than then, but in the meantime, we can order the door and the frame. But this stabilization is probably 3 weeks at work to actually do
From
that.
start to finish?
Yeah, and but there's more work here than they actually.
I mean, that, I'm talking about the big.
Yeah, about 3 weeks.
Brian, if you need copies of our certification for the permits, I have copies of those, if you need copies.
Okay, thanks. I think as long as you've got them, that's fine.
They're here,
Okay.
on
Raise your shoulder.
my very nice, file.
Any discussion, any question?
I feel comfortable because we've had these two fellows in the past working for us and we know what you can do.
Appreciate that, Chris.
I agree. Second that. So we both love working for the library. It's just heart and soul of the community, really. Where would we be without them? I never let anybody get by without knowing that.
Yeah, fully agree.
It's a good job. So we got to get that done and
Thank
keep
you.
it going.
I make a motion, we accept the minutes. I mean, the letter is written.
The motion been made to accept.
A second.
Okay, that's- Second, any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, signify by saying aye. All those opposed, same sign, motion carries.
We need to sign a contract?
Thank you all very much. First of all.
It's in your mail, I think.
No,
It's in my-
I'm sorry, I sent it to you
Oh,
and to Candace.
Candace, okay, we'll bring it back.
I
Did you
do,
sign it? Did you sign it?
no, I sent it to you all for your review and
We did.
Okay, I'll set up a time when.
and I can print it here if you've got a printer.
We do,
Yeah,
it's a HP,
I should have a
LJ,
print here from my phone, but,
you have to be connected to our Wi-Fi, but you can.
and for my sake, I don't need it signed today. And so if it's better for you all, take a look at it, review it, You know,
Okay.
don't sign it on the spot, just take your time, look at it.
We've got time.
Yeah, we've got time, we've got time.
I'll get it signed for you.
That's fine, that's fine. Yeah, we've got time. And
Okay.
so I'll proceed with ordering the materials that's gonna have some lead time. I'll try to get it early tomorrow.
Awesome.
And I do have some, paint chips, Band-Aid, whatever you wanna call them. So at your all's convenience, you know, look at them. Once again, don't have to make a decision today on paint colors, but,
What's this for? The paint for the building?
Yeah, for the outside.
Okay.
And Brian and I talked about this some, as long as we stay in the same basic shades, same colors, then they won't have to put like extra coats. Yeah, so it's better for us if we stick with the green.
Yeah, because of the
Price
roof
wise.
too, you have the
Yes.
green roof.
yeah, there's some limited,
You,
Oh,
with
we
your
like
green
it.
roof.
I really like
Yeah,
it.
we
I
like
think
it.
it's beautiful.
I was just gonna leave it, you know, if you change colors, if you flip, you know, the dark green to a light color and the dark color, vice versa, you know, we don't want to do 5 coats of paint with the paint is $60 and $70 a gallon now, so.
Do
How about
you,
that?
If you can get it, that's right. I saw Sherwin Williams did these this morning and Bill had specified emerald paint, which is a really, really good paint. And, I think they had 6 gallons this morning, so I told him that I would let them know after our meeting, maybe they can get some more water.
What's the recommended life of the paint? 10 years?
It's, well, it's a system, it's a prime and 2 finish coats. And
I'd have to go outside and see what we got now, but I
And
think
it
it's
should.
the same.
last
At least 10 years, at least 10 years.
I think you'll be safe.
I think it's
And
a lean screen.
You did a good
Or
job on
something
this,
similar.
this job has lasted at least that, right?
We had somebody painted blue after. So
It was-
it's, yeah.
It was brown and then it got painted green.
Mhm, mhm.
Much prettier. That's
Mhm.
nice
Yes.
effort.
I'm going to explore, they had a mock-up this morning, and I wasn't familiar with it, but it's still emerald paint, but it's a rain refresh series. And supposedly it cleans itself in a rain situation. They had a sample here.
It suds it up and then.
Well, I don't know about that, but here was the mock they had of a dirty siding and a clean siding. It was like $5 or $6 more, but after
That
a
dirty
research,
siding, right?
after a research and Bill finds it suitable, then we may step up a notch and try to get the series. But it's,
Is that a water base?
yes, yep.
Cool. Boy, the chemists must be gonna work on that.
We'll see. I don't want to say we'll jump to that without doing some research and
We'll get a couple of gallons. Put it on
Do
the
the
other
others.
washes it. A test. Spot.
thank you all again.
But you do have the contract. I had it, but
Yeah. Yeah, you should have it and I'll forward it to Linda. And like I said, it doesn't have to be today, it doesn't have to be this week, but just after you find it pleasing.
if you have
Does it need to
any
be-
question about it.
Does it need to be the president of the board that signed it? Or?
I would say
Just
so.
Anybody on the board?
I think so.
It's a board, it's
Yeah,
a
because
board.
it's a
The
board
board is the owner.
decision.
It's a board.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
We gotta wait for her to
responsibility.
come back.
That's fine, that's fine, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
So you want, are you gonna be signing it?
No, I'm not the president, I'm vice.
Who's the president?
Linda Collins.
She's not here. Well, she's not here.
Okay, great.
But we will get it signed.
Okay,
And then what?
we'll let Brian.
Yeah,
You do this-
I'll just- I'll arrange a meeting between Linda and me and Brian.
Okay, thank you.
For
Let's get the contact. We're not used to
that
this.
way. The board will have to have a special meeting to.
Sometime during this meeting, if we need to get to to public comments or what, that's fine. I would like to make a comment about the Jenkins project, but like I said, we need to follow.
Oh, no, we can go tangent.
that same
Okay.
package, so.
Okay. Of course, as you know, we're still waiting on the Pella door, and anyway, it's been what it is, but, I called last week, and their delivery actually works. They say, one lady said 13 to 20 weeks, I think I heard 16 to 20 weeks, but all that said, and who knows if it will be, then, but I can get a metal door. Basically, what you're seeing here, that's what we call a hollow metal door. Of course, the pellet door that we're supposed to get has the full glass, and you can get that same door there in a full glass. But I just wanted to see if that would be acceptable. We can paint it. Of course, here's what you're not going to get with that. You're not going to get the wood finish on the interior side, if that's critical. But it can be painted to match the Hartford green by Pella on the exterior. So, and that door is probably 6 weeks or less to get. We can get other Pella doors, but that combination that you have with aluminum clad on the exterior and the pine finish on the interior is the Reserve series. And that's kind of their elite series. And supposedly that is the long lead item. They offered an alternative, but it was a fiberglass door and it had no fire rating. And I didn't, yeah, yeah. So, that was a no-go. The hollow metal probably gives you a little more fire security. If there's a advantage of considering that, could be that. Now, let's be real, you got wood siding, dominating the side of it. So, don't get too far down the road.
Everything burns around the door as well.
Yeah. So I don't want to present it in a way that, to make you feel like you're getting a lot more in terms of fire security, but when you go wood siding, so.
So it'll be metal on the outside and wood on the inside.
No, this here would be just,
All metal.
it's all metal.
Okay. Yeah, I think it'd be better written wood.
So you want to switch to the metal with the glass panel and get that whole glass down?
There's not much wood
Yeah,
on it.
we can get it, it comes down, I don't want to say all glass, of course. So it will come within probably 12 or 16 inches of the bottom of the door. That's what we call half glass. Full glass is, like I said, is
Can
what
we
you
have- we have, well, it doesn't have to be green. The inside should probably match the walls if possible.
Oh, yeah, we
I
can
think
paint it
beige.
whatever color you want on the interior, yeah.
We're talking Jenkins.
Right.
Mhm.
Do you guys want to?
Yeah,
Will
that's
it
cream.
Will it cause any problems to switch doors from the one that is?
On order?
Uh-huh.
No, it's canceled, so you just cancel it so far out.
What do you guys think?
I'll go for that one.
It
I
sounds like.
think
Yes.
13 to 20 weeks is ridiculous.
That's too much.
Let's get
And
going.
Bill just asked me a question, once again, in all fairness, Bill asked, was it any cheaper? It is a little bit,
The word cheaper out there.
well,
If we
Inexpensive.
can help it.
But the
Better
security,
quality for the money.
the security and quality is the main thing.
I think it was like $700 or $800 less expensive than the pellet. So, and I'll pass that on to you, if you do, agree to accept the metal door.
We put metal doors
I think
everywhere.
It'd be galvanized, so, you're not gonna see it rusted in 3 years.
But all public buildings have metal doors.
Yeah, I mean, we rarely have a pellet exterior door really anywhere, unless it's on
What about glass, is glass tempered or,
laminated.
It's got
We can get it either way. We can get it laminated, or tempered. You know, and there's pros and cons to those. One will take the impact, I would get those confused. Tempered will take more impact before it shatters. Laminated
Will
But it
break as a
shatters into
sheet.
the harmless
breaks the
parts.
sheet like a windshield.
Tempered, please. I don't want to, I don't want it to break.
Recommendation.
I make a motion, we do
Do
this
it all.
store and have tempered glass.
Okay,
Yeah.
switch to the metal.
Yeah, we
Full
Okay.
glass, except I like the
The motion's been made to accept, the other
Swap of the door.
price door and, full glass.
look good.
Do I have a second?
I said,
Okay.
It'll be inviting out on the deck.
yeah, I think that's.
That would be fun.
Any other discussion? Not have a motion?
When will this
All
be,
papers and
Brian?
documents
When
now.
will it install?
All those in favor,
I'm hoping
same sign.
6 weeks or less.
Okay, that's nice. That would be nice.
So we're getting it in 6 weeks or less, $800.
Yeah,
It's roughly.
It's less and less.
yeah,
Yeah,
For
that's,
more.
that's
it's
good.
like less.
But, you know, to get the, I'm sure we won't get it finished.
She would like it. He needs to.
He wants to get that off his books.
I know,
It's wondered on
And the
way
kids
long.
want to get outside.
and we want it done to Brian.
Well, they have access to it, it'll be finished.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice.
We could go back to Jenkins in the fall and sit out in this.
So thank you all.
Yeah, thank you.
I got a piece of paper with it, cut it.
We got pizza coming in about.
We appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you
you very much. Oh, pardon me.
Calling card, do you have
Business
one?
card?
Yes,
Can I have one, Brian? I need somebody to paint my house.
yes, let me, it's out of my truck. Yeah, I'll bring it right back.
Okay.
Thank you all again, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
No, we're good. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you very much.
Yeah,
Bill,
Do you need these back, Brian?
No,
When we're done?
maybe when we meet, you know, a week or two, but you all share those, pass them around.
Okay, I'm gonna give one to Grace and she can look at the colors.
Then you keep one, that way you cross-reference or whatever.
Thank you.
thank
Thank you all.
you.
This is.
Bye, guys.
I think these are-
Thank you,
these are what we
Bill.
got now.
You see?
I have to actually be outside looking at the building, but I think this is the green of the front door, close to. No, we want to keep the trim dark and the paint.
Yeah,
light.
the train, yeah.
That's
okay,
financial.
okay, now we get to
The treasurer's report, okay. I guess, yes, I'm also there. You already have your copies, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Pass those out.
For our balance, for our cash, looking at this one, this is the general fund. We have cash is 1,028,856.21. We have distance preferred money market, which is now 504,250.31. The community trust CD is for 103,887.19. We have a petty cash of $500.41 for a total of 61,658,693.12. And in your second bundle, okay, we have this, we usually call this the state fund. We have $29,561.67, okay, for a total of $1,667,55.79. That's my report.
Okay.
Second.
Second. Okay. Next item is, director of finance.
No, we already did that.
Oh,
No, go to the vouchers.
Vouchers.
oh, yeah.
Sorry, the top one got a little wrinkly. And now I'm gonna start on with you.
Okay, sure.
Thank you. Do it.
Get through it, so.
That's fine.
I won't be sure Jackson. So we might be looking for it after that. Might have gone back.
No, I squeezed them all in there. It's at the very bottom.
That's it.
I don't like wasting paper for 2 lines. Any questions about the voucher or we're passing?
Glad you put notes on that for the, books for DVDs.
Or for the Amazon bill? Yeah. Business card for you.
Yeah.
Looks like you grabbed a few.
I remember it for long.
He went to high school with my brother-in-law.
How about the, election hurdle I saw where, all the levels get a copy,
I need somebody to pay my.
digital.
I talked to them. We can set up a username and password, but in order for our people to be, for the patrons to be able to sign in and look at the Lexington Herald Leader, we have to give out the username and password to everybody. And then they would have access to our account with Lexington Herald Leader. So it was not suggested.
That's all, but you have to.
It is, but I can make it accessible inside the library on a 1 person at a time basis. If that makes sense. I wish they had a way that I could just make it accessible on our website and not have to sign people in for it. But
I think if you're a subscriber, then do you get 1 account or something?
we get 1 account per library. And I can set it up so that we would be able to sign people in inside the library.
Do you do that to Ancestry.com?
Ancestry people can sign in at the library only, and they do that with the IP addresses. If the IP address doesn't match, then people
They
can't
can
look.
do, okay.
Right,
Yeah, because that was, it used to be a donation of Freedom Historical Society. But we also specified that it's just for libraries. At one time.
Ancestry specifies that.
Also.
Yes, there's
But that
no
also
way
is,
for.
yeah.
That's one of Ancestry's requirements, that libraries are supposed to have the library edition, which means use it inside the library. You cannot build a family tree, but you can save records to, like, you send records to your email, you can save to a flash drive.
But you can use, I know they have passwords, of course, but you just use the library's computers, right? The iPad. Okay.
Okay, next item on the agenda is the budget.
Budget, I was able,
There was no motion to accept.
oh, yes.
Oh,
Can I have
yeah, I need a motion
accept
to-
the vouchers?
I make a motion. Oh, okay.
Motion been made and seconded. Any further discussion?
Doesn't make any difference, it's midway.
If not, motion carries.
I'm so glad you came. I almost
Now,
didn't make it.
moving right along.
Okay. You should have had a copy of the budget in your packet. When I went to ask for more general fund, general ledger, they gave me what they had, which was up through the end of April. Excuse me. Okay, so I've left the actual through December, and I have last year's this 2021 actual numbers. I have the budget line for this year, or column for this year, actual through December, actual through the end of April, and then what the budget is for next year. And if you look at, we'll just go through this column here, and we'll look at the budget, the proposed budget. So far this year, we've taken in $430,260.61 of real property. So I set that one at 450,000 for the budget. And then tangible personal property, we've taken in $2,198.71. Because that one seems to be going down, I put that at 2,000. Actually, it's going up. Yeah, budgeted for 1,000 last year. So I set it at 2,000, and then mineral tax, which is going down. We took in $32,923.68 last year. And so far this year, we've taken in $28,592.57. So I set it at 31,000 for the budget. Franchise tax, we took in $140,461.97 last year. So and so far this year, we've taken in $121,755.24. So I set next year as 140,000, down from the 150,000 this past year. Delinquent is staying pretty much the same. Last year we took in $29,297.55, and so far this year we've taken in $25,197.04. So I set the budget at 27,000. Telecommunications, we took in $11,141.47 last year. So far, we've taken in $9,361.44. So I set that, I left that one at 10,000. And then motor vehicle, last year we actually took in $97,893.18. And so far, we've taken in $77,579.57.
So you're thinking it'll be less this year?
No, I think that one's gonna be, I think it's gonna be a little less, but I set that one at 96,000 for the budget when I had it at 50,000 last year for the budget. So I'm expecting us to take in around $756,000. So far this year, we've taken in $694,945.18 in taxes. And then we haven't taken in anything federally. Not from federal. State is going to change. Well, no, it'll be, we haven't taken in anything federally or state or county. So that's all zeros. And then we did minimal on faxes, copies, and book sales last year because we weren't open for a lot of it. But so far this year, we've taken in $5,284.28.
Wow.
And that's, and you know, we've still got June, 2 months to add to this. So I set it at 8,000 for next year. And then other revenue. We haven't gotten any of the E-rate funding back. Well, we got $723.43 in refunds, but that's anything that's returned is considered a refund. So if we send something back to Amazon, or if they've canceled an order that we've already paid for, then that goes into refunds. And I actually don't know what the $723.43 of refunds is. That could be E-rate funding, it could be returns, but I'm expecting about $2,000 worth of money from E-rate. So that I left at 2,000. And then donations, I know we're gonna, we took in $12,354.77 in donations last year. So far this year, we've taken in $2,750 worth. So because I know for sure that we're gonna have $1,000 donated, I've left that as $1,000. Thank you, Lynn.
Yeah, Dr. Abu always wants to give to the library.
And we appreciate that a lot.
Everything
Everything, especially with projects on the books, like the one that we're about to undertake here. Grants, so far we've, I know this year we're taking in more than, but none of it's been paid in yet. We'll have it's the ARPA grant through KDLA, and that's the one that pays for the microphones and the camera, paid for the benches, has paid for the upgrade to the catalog where we can see like reviews of, supposed to be able to see reviews of books and the pictures of the book covers and DVD covers. So that grant will show up on here, but we know for certain that we will apply for the Remake Learning Days grant every year. So that's the $600 that's in the grant line. Interest, last year we took in a lot of interest, and some of that was the CD and some was the money market account, but we know the rates have gone down. So I lowered the interest amount. So far, we've taken in $2,356.94 in interest. So I put the interest line for the budget at $2,000 just in case it drops. And then that gives us a total of $5,600 for other revenues. And that's a total of $769,600 plus the cash balance, which has been sitting at $1,332,404 for a overall total of $2,102,004. Sorry, when we start talking in millions, that's when I stumble. Okay.
Well, in my report, as of May, we have 1,667,000. That's, you estimate it's less, but that's all right, because you're still going to get some more
Yes.
bills.
Yes. Okay, so in personnel, so far we've spent out $301,766.25 on salary. With the adding of the full-time floating position and possible raises. I have copies of the raise sheets in my box. We'll probably from last month, so we'll probably need to pull that out. I put salaries at $403,000. That gives us a little bit of padding, and then that FICA. Wayne expected it to go up some because of the new full-time person, so I set that at $30,000. Workman's comp is at $4,000. I raised that a little since we are going to be adding a position. And then unemployment insurance, it's still at around $1,183.05, but just in case, I raised that up to $2,000. Medicare, was $4,805.86 last year. So I bumped that up a little bit to 6,000. And then the medical insurance, we spent $100,463.57 last year. So far, this year we've spent $93,999.40. I bumped that up to 1,300,000 because, another full-time person. And then we pay nothing on Aflac, and then the retirement fund stays at $50,000. So personnel would be $625,000.
Crazy question.
Absolutely.
How many people do we have on Medicare?
All the full-time people we pay into Medicare. So there's 8, 9 now.
But we don't pay anybody's individual Medicare, do we?
No.
That's my thing, Jeanette, because they're already entitled to Medicare, but that's a secondary, it's a secondary source for billing. I don't know why, but we who are retired, that's our first. And we're almost the same age as this one. So we're covering medical insurance for people who are on Medicare. I don't know. I guess Anita can explain that too.
Well,
Medicare doesn't cover everything.
And of course it doesn't. But I mean, when you try to get your, I don't
Usually
even
you're
know that.
retired at the time you get Medicare.
I guess that's the way to explain it. That's why they're all insured medically by the library, even if you're Medicare. Yeah, you're right. Okay. That's, I guess, the way to explain it. That is, you don't get it until you retire.
So,
It's unusual for people to go as far.
But we still charge Medicare. Isn't Medicare still paying us even if we're not retired, if we reach the age of 65? I don't know. You tell me. You're the expert on that subject.
Oh,
No, because you were in the program.
no, I really don't
Social
know
services.
now how they are doing that because it changes.
Oh, okay. Okay. I don't know either.
we used to get a discount because 2 of our people had Medicare, but they
Mhm.
stopped allowing that.
Oh, really? So it's something new, but I'm just
Is there a
curious.
reason for them to stop?
Yeah,
Is it
that's
because
what my
we're
thing is.
such or-
No, it's not us, it's everywhere. It's not us specifically.
It's not us. It's not us.
It's, and our insurance company rep explained it to me that we used to get a discount, we don't anymore, and
Oh, we have 2 past 65. No, it's not big.
Not yet. I'm getting there.
But like I said, again, medical insurance is a benefit.
Right.
And while they're working, then no matter what, whether they covered their Medicare by secondary, then we have to offer it to them, since that's a benefit for working, okay? But I feel that Medicare should have a discount or something, or, no, not Medicare, but the insurance company, what are we, United or something?
United Healthcare.
United Healthcare should maybe lower the
They
premiums
do
for
have
this.
if you agree to a home,
telehealth.
yeah, plus, they will come to your house and do a physical, all that, then they give you a $50 gift card, but it's like
Okay.
the beginning.
But that's all right. I mean,
I don't know which is first payer.
It's
Medicare's not first payer.
no, it's not, it's
So
not.
United Healthcare is.
United
first payer.
Healthcare, that's why I said, they used to give a discount for those on Medicare, but now they don't do that. They also charge the Medicare holders, I guess, the full price of the age or something.
About what percentage have we allowed for salary increase this year?
I actually,
They have water there.
That's the raise we did last year. They're
I
a whole-
don't know. In the refrigerator.
I allowed for more than 5%. And I have just enough copies. So 403. No, I did not. I can change that amount. I will change the amount. I did not. I need to put more in there. I'm gonna change that to 410. Because the part-time, not part-time, the full-time person is gonna be making $12 an hour, so that would change this total anyway. Do now.
You know, I think 5% is okay, but when inflation's 8.6%,
How much?
8.6.
8.6.
I'm telling you. It would be.
Last time. They're in a hole. And insurance is more, so really make it a lot less now than then.
I think this one we have discussed all of it. Last time, so the second time. No, it's a pretty one. Oh. And what is it? Oh. That's neat, that's neat. That's neat. Now suddenly in my Facebook, all the posts are crocheting. That would be. If I'm cooking crochet, oh, they're beautiful. So, when you're sewing and cooking,
Okay. What amount are you suggesting, H?
I'd like to see it at least 8%. Because the inflation rate's 8.6 right now. I'd like to see it 8%.
So with an 8% raise, it would be $417,127 for the year on, instead of 403, 460 and 20 cents.
you just have to estimate it with the 403.
Yeah, I can
You
change,
can
we can
make it
change that
8%,
amount.
yeah.
What do you all think?
I'll stick with the 5%.
You stick with 5,
Mhm.
so you don't think 8%?
What do you think, Jen?
It's hard both ways. I know that a prayer is that eventually these prices are gonna come down.
They're expecting, I can tell you right now, gasoline's gonna reach $6 a gallon. I can tell you right now that bread, there's a flare shortage right now for bread. Bread will be at least $3 a loaf. And on some of the cheap.
Oh, I get the least expensive whole grain bread that I can find, and it's usually $3.
I know, I do the same thing, I do whole wheat bread.
And I've got stuff at home to make bread, but that's expensive too.
I just think that, you know, it's with the insurance, the way it is and everything going up, I really. I'd
Do
like
we have to decide on that today or, because I would rather the whole board be present.
We don't have to decide, what we can do is, if somebody wants to suggest 5%, make a motion for 5%, we go ahead and set it at 5 and then revisit later. If we wanted to add more.
My point is that I know, I agree with you. Eggs now, I think of what, 250 a dozen, eggs, $1 or something,
Yeah.
and gas.
that's,
This is ridiculous.
It's too much. I don't agree,
We don't know
But-
what-
but I'm just sticking by the 5% because to me, I think that's affordable for the board.
but I think we're in good shape right now, and while we are in good shape, that we should, you know, give them the benefit of that, like, we gave them the raise last time, they're in the hole because the insurance was raised, inflation's already gone, so gas went from $2 a gallon to $5 a gallon. And they're bringing home less now than they did 6 months ago.
Y'all are.
Yeah.
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 But I'm also
Yeah.
thinking that the medical insurance will go up too.
Well, that's,
Do we pay all their medical insurance?
Yeah, we pay their medical
All the
insurance,
full time.
all the full time.
So we'll be adding Ian to
That's going to be, I know what, 10% maybe plus 10% for insurance, even 15 maybe. Yeah, for medical. So that's why I'm just on the safe side, but we could all decide. I mean, that's just my personal
Well, I
opinion.
think normally we go with 5% too, and we don't know what's gonna change, so, but we still have the option to change.
Yes, we can revisit. I mean, there's
Why
nothing
don't we
that
say
says
5% since we've already got the figures for that?
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
I'll make a motion, we do
do
5%,
5% with the option.
the option to
Revisit.
increase.
I second the motion.
Okay. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
I,
All those opposed, same sign, motion carries. You shot me down, but you won't. I'll keep that on.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I know
It's-
all the staff and myself appreciate that you guys are looking out for us this way.
Well, I just, you know, I'm worried about the recession and I just,
I'm afraid that we don't have one.
it's not looking.
It's,
I mean, still,
do you
thanks.
guys want to get pizza before we dive back?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I know.
we'll take a mini break. You guys get pizza. I'm gonna run to the restroom. I had a lot of coffee this morning.
I have to.
We'll dive back in and
Okay.
finish
Yeah.
as we can. I'm gonna let you run. I'm gonna let that go. So don't have any conversations you don't want.
that's why I was right.
Oh, did you see?
One of them is vegetarian and the other one is a supreme.
That's, looks good. Where did you get this one?
Leave it out.
This one is pepperoni, that's probably, that's the pepperoni.
This is vegetarian.
That-
Oh, did you do that?
Yes, I.
Well.
That's vegetarian.
But it's a yellow.
Did you do it? Oh, you made it? Oh,
Yes.
my goodness.
I said, Chef, we already said.
Well, that's good. You got a knife or something to leave this out with. I have a knife. Woo.
They never hire.
No, no. There you go.
All right, Trace? Oh, okay.
Do we have-
Give us just a second, I'm getting forks right now for those, for the cake and so forth.
I can do something.
And your water. She has tea or water?
No, I already have my water. Thank you very much. Thank you. No, it's okay.
H made us cake.
You have a good Father's Day. Good Father's Day.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Do you see any of your kids?
That's something.
Cheers. Cheers.
Let's do this.
Okay.
She brings in.
That's right. One granddaughter, three great grand.
Oh,
I have 9 nieces and nephews. Thank goodness for my siblings, they took the pressure off of me. I love the kids dearly, but it's probably a good thing that I didn't have any of my.
Well, the little guy said one thing about grandchildren, you move back.
Yes, that's the thing about nieces and nephews too. And now I'm patiently waiting for them to be old enough to have children so I can love on their babies. I've been making a mess of here, I apologize. I'm gonna go ahead and change the salaries to 410,000, just in case. And then I'll take it off of,
What's the 410? That's additional for the full-time?
for salaries, that would cover all of the salaries.
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah, it's,
is it the projected for another 8% or is it?
oh, no,
for
it's
addition
5% plus,
for the full-time?
with the
Okay.
full-time person, and that's the next, further down.
Okay, I got you.
So I'll take the 7,000 off of back here at the very end, the building fund, I'll change that, and I'll remind you about this when we get there, 100. 12,000 for, okay. You guys eat, I'm gonna talk. So I changed the salaries, budget for next year to 410,000. I have in my notes that we're doing the 5% raise. And then that changes this subtotal to 632,000. And then, I'll move on to operating expenses. Advertising and printing, I left at 4,000 because that's a little under what I've spent so far this year at $3,265.50. But when I had a couple of ads in the paper for the Blackie project, so that'll push that up a little bit. Accounting and bookkeeping, I raised a little just in case, because I know prices are going up everywhere. So last year I had the budget at 10,000. This year it's at 11,000. Or next year. So far this year, we've spent $8,375 on bookkeeping. The audit was $8,350 this year. I put that line up to 10,000. Architect, design consultant line, I loaded in just in case. So far this year, we spent $4,250 on the architect, and we just added 7,000 and change to that. So I've set that line at 100,000. That does not mean we need to spend 100,000. Bank charges, I left that at $200. Building maintenance, I left at 50,000. So far this year on maintenance, we've spent $7,683.58. And on building repairs, I upped that some because part of what we've got coming in the next year is not things that would fall under capital outlay. So there's 500,000 in that line. So far this year, we've spent $31,565.20. Last year, we spent $9,442.68. So, equipment, this is like standard equipment, like this table would fall, well, no, that'd fall under furniture. I'm trying to think of, like, if we had to replace the typewriter, or if we had to replace, I forget what all falls in there, but it's not furniture and it's not fixtures in the building, but
Shelves, something like that.
yeah, shelving would fall under this, but we left that at $12,000. So far this year, we've spent $4,050.19. Furniture, this past year, we've spent $5,950 on furniture. Last year, we spent $80.56 on furniture. So I put that line at $50,000 because I know we need to get some new kids furniture for the Neon branch, and I'm planning to order, and this is further down the agenda, I'm planning to order some more ergonomic staff chairs because of chairs that are getting too old to use. We're apparently supposed to try the chair at the circulation desk here. Apparently it's a torture device.
If you sit in the chair out front, you won't do it but 5 minutes.
I told them to use one of these computer chairs because they're fairly comfortable, but I'm going to order some more of those staff chairs. Utilities, last year we spent $48,883.72 on utilities. And this year, so far, it's been $47,515.28. And because I know everything is going up, I went ahead and set that line at $70,000 for the year for the budget. And utilities is gas and electric, water, garbage, anything except for telephone and internet. Telephone, last year we spent $13,687.93, and so far this year we've paid $8,489.48 because everything's going up. I left that line at $30,000. Insurance, and this is like property insurance, not medical insurance. This is insurance on all the branches, and the bookmobile is at 20, last year we spent $21,806.86.
What type of liability insurance do we have? Like for instance, if they fall, no, I would.
That would fall under our property insurance. We've got commercial property insurance for all 4 branches. I'm not sure.
I know we've got $1 million formula, thing about raising it too.
I'm actually not sure what the amount is. But I know we have the commercial property insurance on all 4 branches. And then we've got motor vehicle insurance standard. It's full coverage on the bookmobile. So if somebody were to fall on the bookmobile, that should cover
Yeah.
that.
I was thinking about the tile floor at the top.
That's
um,
workman's too.
Well, if staff were to fall, that would be a workman's comp.
Yep.
But if a patron were to fall,
Mhm.
that would be the commercial property insurance. And
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought they
Yeah.
were all workman's.
I've got the policies, they just came for review for this year at Whitesburg. They're in my stack to be done.
I just wonder,
I know we have insurance. I haven't looked to see what it's at right now.
We
And
also have the officers.
yes,
What they call that?
Philadelphia insurance
mhm.
that covers
Yeah.
all of us. Like if somebody were to say something and somebody get offended, the Philadelphia insurance covers that.
Or if the board is sued for
Yes.
something, then that's.
Yeah.
really- And also there's
yeah.
such a thing.
When I
as
talked to a
theft.
lawyer, he said, anybody can sue anybody for anything, anytime.
Yeah, it's true.
More intense.
Mhm.
So that covers, the Philadelphia insurance covers me and all of you.
Keep that.
Yeah. that's true.
There's no plans to get rid of any of this anytime soon. But that last year was $21,806.86. So far this year, it's been $20,335.89. So I've left that at 25,000 for the budget. And then programming, this is when we hire people to come and do programs at the library, like when I pay Kelly to come and do a class, when Mad Cat Puppets or Honey Hill Farm come and present the puppets or the animals, that's what that line is. And last year, we spent $1,272.40, but a lot of that was, some of that was Kelly doing the online yoga classes. And then so far this year, we've spent $5,169.21. And if you read my report, you know Kelly and I are talking about the possibility of adding a second yoga class each week, possibly during the day, and it would. We haven't decided what kind of class it would be, but I'm thinking that people want it to be something similar to what we do on Thursday nights, but during the day. So for that, so far we've spent, I think I already said $5,169.21. But I left that at $20,000. We have not hired Mad Cat Puppets or Honey Hill Farm for summer reading this year. We're just happy to have in-person programming for the kids. Contract labor, Verlin's doing some jobs for us, and he's gonna fall under this line. It was at 5,000 last year, but I put it at 4,000 because we haven't had as much. And then I've got $1,000 in the grounds. And then because I was never sure where I put the UFR registration, the $500 charge, I made its own line item. The UFR is the uniform a special purpose government entity registration that I have to fill out every year, and then I report our budget to them and our actual numbers. So that, and then the post office box rentals are all gonna be in this line from now on, and I put that at $1,000. So that makes operating expenses, the total would be $888,200. Do you guys have any questions about this section page? Yeah, okay. Next one. Computers. Computer automation. That charge went up a little when we started being hosted on the cloud. So I set that at $30,000 because we have already passed what I budgeted for this year. It was $16,000 was the budget, and we've spent $16,085. And just in case, I put automation up to $30,000, but that can be lower if needed. Hardware for the computers. Just spent $12,000 on computers for Neon. That actually does not show so far. It was 4 weeks ago. But since I know we're gonna need to replace some computers at other branches, I put that line up to $50,000. The 12,000 was about, well, it was 12 computers. And if you get a chance to stop in at Neon, they have nice big monitors. They're all in ones like, I don't think, like the ones that are down there. It's a monitor, a mouse, and a keyboard, and that's the computer. And the ones at Neon, the new ones, you can tilt the monitor out a little and then turn it sideways. They're really cool. And when I
Are they
replaced,
Dell?
they are Dell. I work directly with a salesperson named Jonathan at Dell. And when I replace the computer in genealogy, I'm gonna get one of those because viewing microfilm on that little monitor is a pain in the tush.
Yeah, I have to smoke till I'm bifocal.
Yeah. So, that was hardware, software. We've spent $2,365.22. And because I know some of what automation, some of the automation, well, not charges, but some of the stuff involved in automation is the software update. I put the software at $5,000. And then internet access, a lot of this is refunded and refunds, but last year, the actual amount was $2,213.20. But the internet costs for Jenkins and for Neon both went up a lot. So far this year, the budget for this year was $2,500. And so far this year, we've spent $3,056.08 on internet for all 4 branches. Jenkins had a grandfathered in internet deal. And in order for the bill to say internet on it so that I could send it to the E-rate people and them not question it, it needed to say internet. So when they updated that, it took us off the grandfathered plan. And it basically doubled the cost of internet at Jenkins. And then AT&T, this is the Neon branch. AT&T pulled out of Fleming Neon. And when they did, that left nothing but HughesNet as an internet provider in Fleming Neon. And HughesNet is not inexpensive.
No, I have-
TVS is not in Neon, no.
It's real expensive. Usually it's.
HughesNet is it's satellite cable. So they had to come and put on a satellite on the building, and it's on the roof. But I think it's almost $300 a month and they still run out of bandwidth. So I end up getting tokens to increase their bandwidth. But I think when we come around to E-rate again, I'm just gonna get the highest amount of bandwidth that we can for that branch.
This
Because
is the same one you use?
No, I have TBS.
Yeah,
Maybe
I have
that's just
TBS.
a couple miles from Leon, I wonder why they don't go there.
oh, they did an estimate, and it's a last mile estimate, which basically means we have to run the cable from where the internet stops, where their service line stops, to the branch, and it was like $5,000. So we've got HughesNet until we can find something better that's not gonna drop service and leave the area without telling us. I'm still mad at AT&T.
Well, I had AT&T and then had to go to TBS.
So, internet access, I put at $5,000 for next year, because it still needs to be a line item, even though we're getting 90% of that money back. Maintenance on the computers, I just left it $3,000, and then service contracts. We have one, I think. Oh, that's, we have a service contract with GoDaddy as our domain provider. And we've got one with Trifecta out of Lexington as our hosting company. So that's those two, and I left that at 300. So the computer services is $93,300, which is much more than it was last year. Last year I budgeted for 32,800. But I'd rather have a little padding and not need it than not have enough in there. Now we're to the fun category, materials. Books, this is usually when we don't have a category that books fall into, that just the $700, and we haven't spent anything out of that category so far, so I left it as is. And then Blackie, they get $8,000 to spend. So far this year, they've spent $4,598.53. And then Harry Cottle, so far this year, we've spent $17,230.58, and I put that one at $20,000. Jenkins has spent $7,649.05, and I left them at 8,000. Fleming Neon has spent $4,874.21. I also left them, well, I left everybody at where they were in this category. And then the Bookmobile, Roy has spent $2,730.76, and I left him at 5,000. So the book total so far this year is $37,083.13 so far. Last year, we spent $33,447.31, but mostly we were doing deselecting instead of purchasing. So the budget for the coming year is the same as it was last year, $49,700. And then we get into the other categories of materials, periodicals, that's all the magazines that we subscribe to. So far this year, we've spent $1,021.97. That's across all 4 branches. I've left that amount at $4,500 in case we find some we just have to have. Newspapers, we've actually spent, I need to change this. We've spent $1,243.49, which is up over the budget amount. So change this budget amount to 2,000. Reference books, has been at 3,000 for a few years. So far this year, I've spent $1,183.47 on reference books. And that's things for Harry M. Caldwell and the other branches, like we get the almanac every year. And we got some really great resource books on living with diabetes, and there was one from Life in the 50s. Yeah, I think it was
50s or 60s, I can't remember. And of course, there's Guinness books. which is
Yes,
everybody's
Guinness Book of
favorite.
World Records. So I left reference books at 3,000, but I probably won't spend that. Audiobooks, we're trying to spend less on audiobooks because they're not circulating as well as they used to, since we've got Libby, the Libby app, and we've got Hoopla. A lot of people check out digitally instead of checking out the discs, but we still get people that get them.
And also the cars now cannot play the CDs, you cannot play.
Yeah, I know.
That's why you're so limited.
So, so far this year, we've spent $2,356.77. I've left that at 3,000 for now. Videos. Last year, we spent just over 3,000 across all the branches on DVDs and Blu-rays. So far this year, we've spent $4,249.55. I'm gonna leave that budget line at 7,000. I know Grace doesn't order as many DVDs, but Jenkins and Neon and Harry M. Cottle, all of them order DVDs and Blu-rays. And then electronic databases. Went up a little because there's a database that's involved with the automation. So that put us up over the $9,000 amount, and databases was $11,668.80. So I raised that line up to $12,000. And then video games is at 300 again, which we just spent. So this is going to be 81,500 for materials. Any questions on those two categories? Pages? No. Okay. And then we're getting there. This is the second to last page. This is the last page of lines, and then we go to an overall. So supplies, and this is all kinds of supplies: office, programming, processing, janitorial, postage, grounds. So office supplies, we had set at 16,000, and that's across all the branches and the director. We spent $8,979.40 so far this year. Last year, we spent $12,379.67. And this amount includes some of the ordering that we've been doing for genealogy. Like we got heavy duty binders, and we've got sheet protectors for all the things that Susan is making look better for us in genealogy. So I left office supplies at 16,000. And then programming, this is all the programming supplies. So far, we've spent $7,558.43. So I left that at $10,000. Processing is all the things that we do for new items to make the new materials to make them ready to be checked out. DVD cases, labels, like label protectors.
The tape stuff, yeah.
Mhm. We had budgeted for $2,000, but so far this year, we've spent $3,408.46. And some of that is because of the use of more materials for genealogy. So I raised that line up to $5,000. Janitor supplies I left at 2,000. So far, we've spent about under 1,000 on janitor supplies this year, and that's across all 4 branches as well. Postage, we spent $795.29 last year. And so far this year, we've spent $610.38. So I left postage at $700. And then the grounds, this also includes anything that Berlin does for us on the grounds, like if he buys mulch for us, which I know he's gonna do or has done, it would go in this line. I left that, I set that to $800, and if we need to, we can revisit that later. We did not have any PPE CARES grant purchases for this year. So that line is probably going to go away next year. So for all the supplies, we've spent $22,259.30 this past so far this year. And then for the budget, I've got it set at $33,700. The bookmobile, Roy's been driving around adding people. I think he's doing a really good job with that. So far this year, he spent $800 on gas. I left the budget line for gas at $2,500.
Good idea.
We've had to do some maintenance on the bookmobile this past year. That was $1,552.02, and a big chunk of that was the new tires. So I left that line at $2,000. In the next couple of years, we'll have to look at replacing the bookmobile. So that line, so far, Royce spent $2,352.02 on the bookmobile maintenance and gas. And his total budget is $4,500. And then continuing education, travel. This was when Vicki and I went to the conference, and library legislative day mileage also is in here. That was $359.56. I'm leaving that line alone at $3,000. Tuition, Roy has finished his classes for certification. He now has, we've put his application in. He should be certified at paraprofessional 1 for 5 years. But we spent this past year $916 on classes. I'm going to leave that line alone at $2,000 in case any of us need to take a specific class, or if we have to do any more classes for continuing education.
So you need updating.
So dues, so far this year, we've spent $475. And dues is still set at $700, so I'm gonna leave that alone. Per diem, for those 2 trips, the Kentucky, the library legislative day, and then the conference that Vicki and I went to was $264. I'm leaving that line at $1,000. Lodging was $500.02. I'm leaving that line at $1,000. So continuing education, so far this year, we spent $2,514.58. The budget for next year is $7,700. The next KPLA conference should be a little closer to home. I think it's going to be in Lexington this year, so I might try and send more people. We're almost there. Capital outlay, furniture and fixtures, I set at $50,000 in case we need any fixtures replaced, anything that we have to take bids for.
Yeah, what about the lighting at Beacon?
We'll get to that in just a second. Equipment, it's in case we have to replace anything. Because I know that the elevator needs refurbished, all the workings of it. I set that one at $100,000. So far this year, in this line, we spent 10,500. That had to have been one of the HVAC units that was replaced. Building under capital outlay, that's any bids that we take to expand or build new buildings. I put that line at 100,000 because that's where it's been for a while. And then the building fund, I'm subtracting amounts that I've added elsewhere from the building fund. And take off 1,000.
Brian already had this bid for 130. Well,
Mhm.
I think that's building repair, right?
Yes,
It's a building,
it's
it's not capital.
it would not be capital outlay since
It's
we're not
building, yeah.
expanding the building.
Yeah.
$111,104 for building fund. For a total in capital outlay as 360. I have to do math.
169,104.
Minus the 5, it's minus 363,000. $104 for a grand total of $2,102,004, which matches what we're expecting to take in as revenue, which you can see on the last page. With the budget, when we make a budget, these two numbers have to match. The budget revenue and the budget expenditures. Okay, do you guys have questions? Is there anything you want me to change?
I think you paid it at the right places. Okay, need a motion.
A second.
Motion. Wait a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Thank you.
I think, Alida, yeah, just when they do the races, so it starts July 1.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
just to be sure that Wayne knows it,
I will,
that it starts, the paycheck.
since
We
it
are in the
includes,
budget, yeah.
Yeah.
Will be starting July 1, so that there will not be any overlapping or something.
right. I'm gonna go ahead and talk to Ian today when I get back about going ahead and starting his 8-hour days. And I can talk about him when we get down to part-time positions at HMC. Sick time donation, I looked at, are we done with budget?
We're done with budget.
Okay. Sick time donation, I looked at the school's sick time policy donation and they have a bank. Theirs is set up under a KRS that specifically says schools. So I'm looking for a KRS that will help us. And I know there's specific qualities or requirements for direct donation, like the person donating has to have a specific, more than a specific amount of sick time. And the person receiving the donation has to meet specific requirements also, like they have to be out of sick time, they have to be out of work for a specific amount of time. And it has to cause a hardship and a few other requirements. So I'm looking for that. It's gonna stay on the agenda until I have good answers for you. New business. Part-time positions at HMC. And I had Scarlett write me something, but I don't know what I've done with it. Right now, with people being out sick, Scarlett and I and Vicky all end up putting our our main work on hold so that we can cover the desk. And with Ian moving on to the full-time position, which he's pretty excited about, we're gonna talk about it this afternoon when we get back, when I get back. Basically, Scarlett hasn't been able to spend time at the other branches, helping them catch up on cataloging and making sure that they know how to do it. And my work gets put on hold, like I stayed until 6:30 Friday night to make sure I had director's financial report and the Amazon bill ready for the meeting. And I don't mind staying, but I don't want it to be all the time. And I know it'd be nice if I could clear up some of the stacks in my office. So I'm requesting that I replace Ian with 2 part-time people instead of 1 part-time person. And
Oh, he was that good work.
Can we not make him full-time and just stay there in Wattsburg and be circulation there?
You don't necessarily mean Whitesburg.
no,
Yeah.
he's supposed to be a floating position. He's supposed to be spending time at all the branches and to cover them when there's somebody out sick and taking
Because
vacation.
if you're creating another full-time with 2 part-time,
Well, it'd be creating
1 full-time.
1 part-time and using a part-time that's already there.
But Ian is going to be full-time
Yeah.
thing. So you're going
Yes.
to use 2 part-time, which is equal to 1 full-time. Am I understanding this right?
Well, the whole point of creating the full-time floating position was that he would be going to all the different branches and helping out.
If it's needed or just
Oh, no,
all the
he's
time?
all the
Or
time.
All the
He's
time?
supposed to spend 1 day at each branch every week unless somebody is out sick and they need him more.
And then so his part-time is what is coming out, you're requiring for 1 more and 2 part-times, right? That's what you're saying.
No, I want to add 1 more part-time.
He was part-time, he's replacing him, just adding 1 part.
Yes.
I cannot comprehend that.
Okay, he right now is part-time.
Yes. He-
And you're
he's
going
the-
to make him
She's
full-time.
want to
Yeah.
make him full-time,
So 1 person will be in,
and he'll be going to different libraries.
Which is good.
Which is it. What do you need?
Another
Two
Well,
part-time for what?
I'm
part-time.
going to replace him with 1 part-time person and they work 20 hours a week.
Will they be?
They will
located?
be at the Harry M. Cottle Memorial Library. I want to add a 2nd part-time person at Harry M. Cottle so that Scarlett and I aren't spending any time that Scarlett, Vicky and I aren't spending any time that the part-time person isn't there at the desk because we all have other things that we need to do away from the desk. Is it?
I don't know. I thought Ian was going to do it, so he won't be working there anymore. He'll just be going
He'll
around.
be working 1 day at Whitesburg and
And
I
I want to all the libraries at some point.
I've
At
asked
some
him,
point.
yes, I've asked him to work Saturdays at Whitesburg. And he'll work a day with the bookmobile and a day here, a day at Jenkins and a day at Neon.
Why does 2 part-time?
You said 2 part-times, but you, so that's 1. Oh, I don't know. It's-
1 part-time is to replace Ian.
Yes.
The
And
other
then
is
this
an addition.
to give those of us that are losing time to the circulation desk time.
So that
Not
part-time
me.
person will be at Plattsburgh.
So
Both part-times would be.
in Wattsburg, so that's 1 full-time.
Without the health
Within-
insurance and,
So that's what I'm thinking. So you have 2 part-time here and
She said, would it be better to hire 1 person full-time and that way?
but then again, that's the same, insurance, without paying insurance.
And if we were to hire another full-time, we'd have to, and I'm not opposed to getting them certified, but we'd have to get them certified. And I think having 2 part-time would actually be easier because we can schedule them instead of like having to. Actually, what I want to do is the 2 young ladies that we interviewed for the position here, they both live in Whitesburg. And I'd like to hire them as 2 part-time people for Whitesburg. And I'm gonna
And
have,
Ian too will be there too,
Ian will be
Just 1 day a week.
1 day a week.
all the other branches. And he'll be in Whitesburg 1 day a week.
And that's Saturday.
Yes.
Really, what you're doing is
Your friend.
hiring part-time people just for the desk, that bus work.
Yes. I would like to.
We have a full-time this person.
Technically, Vicky's the head librarian and she should be there, but she's not always able to work at the circulation desk.
How often do they really get off, like one of you, maybe how often do you work there, how often that? We used to work when we need in. So when Ian is not there, then that means that nobody would cover him, so is that the problem is you cannot, she cannot, because you're doing another job, right?
Well, if there's nobody at the desk, what one of us is doing gets put on hold until.
Why can you not just maybe, I don't know, 3 hours maybe to cover while nobody's there? I'm just thinking about that. You've been even 2 part-time when you already have 1. Is there really a need for it? I'm just asking.
I see your point. What we're doing is actually, we're hiring 2 full-time people.
Mhm.
One- One's
you
in
are.
and
Yeah.
then 2 part-time. so that's
Instead of the
extra.
1.
Yeah.
So
And
that comes to 2 part, that's 2 full-time.
so
Yeah.
are you really that short of personnel at the?
And so when you, and again, it goes back to when you're asking for 8%, there's another money that goes to this one. And eventually, I don't know, I'm sure I'd like to give jobs to everybody.
It's kind of like when we're trying to get ready for summer reading. Tessa, of course, is not physically able to do a lot
As
of the
much.
decorating and work to get it ready. So that left anybody upstairs who could, and that was usually me. And, you know.
And whatever volunteers.
Yeah, don't you
we
like
have.
that, though, Vicky, that you get a little,
I enjoyed
that
it, yes.
you get a
But
little
that was
diversion
fun.
from just staying in your beds and
But that
do
was
something
fun.
else, and same thing
To
with
watch the
Scarlett.
desk when Scarlett is supposed to be cataloging. So.
How much, maybe 2 hours, 3 hours? that
Oh,
she
yeah.
does this?
It was at least 10.
Yeah, it was over half a day, at least once, just getting the hallway decorated.
Yeah, I mean the decoration,
Yeah.
summer reading is different because there's just one time in summer, June, July, maybe August.
Yeah.
But I was thinking if you're going to create a job so that one of you could just do maybe the desk for 3 hours or what, I'm just
And then there-
wondering. Because sometimes I go
Personally,
there
I
and
would
I
say
go,
8% raise for.
yeah,
Yeah,
8%.
and there's no one
See?
there to fill in that doesn't leave Olita or Scarlett running the desk. So we at least need some help with desk running when.
And you have one more part-time, you also have Susan, well, of course, she's with another
Yeah,
program.
she's with a
Do you
program.
have, do you have any volunteers?
You should have a
I-
permanent desk person.
Yeah.
because
Because
that's-
of liability issues, I will not let volunteers other than Susan, who is specifically supposed to be learning how to work the library.
Okay, so volunteers is out, which is fine, you know. I thought maybe that's a part of creating work skills for somebody for.
We do have some volunteers working on work skills and they end up helping Tessa set up for programs and help Vicky decorate for summer reading.
Mhm.
Okay, could we postpone that and we could have us written what all this person will do? these two
Yeah,
people will do.
I have been to the library on Saturdays and there's hardly anybody there. Maybe it's the COVID or something.
And not decide
And
that.
yeah, and I go there in the afternoon or something, not all the time, but Saturdays there, there in the morning.
We put out the raises, so.
Yeah,
Could you give us
A list of what they would be doing.
yeah, and the two people,
that would be
Well,
like
the
two people,
differentiation
like
between
three,
what Ian was doing.
or, yeah.
Oh, there's no difference between what Ian was doing and what the part-time people would be doing, which is
Okay, so
running the
Because-
desk. and-
both those part-time people were doing what Ian was doing.
Yes, but Ian was only doing it for 20 hours a week, which
He-
leaves another 28 hours.
I think,
That are not
and
covered.
here I'll also say this. Ian wanted to have a full-time job
Yeah, so we got it.
and he got it, but he was willing to work in Whitewood for the full time. But of course, I thought maybe to accommodate him, we created a floating circulation library that would come and help, which is fine. And, but we also have like substitute librarians.
No, we don't,
You took that out,
because of liability issues also.
okay, because we
We
used to
have-
have,
We
well,
have,
if you took that out, then that's a thing, that's when you need, I guess.
we have one full-time person at each branch and 2 part-time people
For
everywhere.
each branch.
Everywhere except for Whitesburg. Whitesburg, we have 4, 5, if you count Roy, full-time people that work in the building and 1 part-time person. But those 5 people have jobs that don't always lead them or allow them to work at the desk.
The
Ah,
most
yes,
important part
yeah.
is the desk.
Exactly.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
should be some desk
I agree. Which is,
at all times. Really.
yes, I mean, even if they're up and shelving stuff, I want somebody to be at
Of
the
course,
desk.
of course, and that's why I say full-time here. You know, if you put a one full-time, that's all she does, put shelves.
But a
reference
should be a
questions,
primary job should be
yeah,
the
it should
desk.
be, yeah, and that's all he does, is circulation. And if it's needed, maybe carry these books to the basement, we can do that too, you know. There's nobody, that's just my point, so it's just one full-time right there.
So you want to table this and bring it up there?
Yes,
Well,
why don't we table it,
Well, yeah,
think about it.
And-
think
and
about,
That way we can. Think of it,
and I don't have anything against it, it's just that. I
We'll make
should have
motion
something
table.
else.
Make a motion, to table it.
Okay,
Okay. And then the last one is I'm gonna get a couple more of the ergonomic chairs for staff to replace old and very uncomfortable office chairs for them.
So, yeah, we need
Um,
that, we need
I
that.
think there's, I asked and there were a total of 4. There's one here, one at Jenkins, and then 2 at Whitesburg that need replaced. The ergonomic chairs we got a few years ago are still excellent. So I'm gonna go to Wayfair and see if we can get something similar. Announcement. So there, we don't need to vote because I'm probably gonna spend less than $500 on chairs.
And it's to replace old ones, so
Yes.
that's just part of operating expenses, I think, we, and then need permission for.
Announcement. Any announcements that I had? Oh, if you get a chance, stop by and see the art in the window at Harry and Bottle. Come to a summer reading program.
I like what I'm seeing in the summer reading that you're all doing. Reminds me of what we used to do.
Okay.
It's just,
Um,
really, yeah,
any other-
it's wonderful.
I can't think of anything else that I need to tell you guys.
Wonderful.
the lighting at the.
Oh, yes, thank you. Jimmy Cobble has ordered lights to
fill the dark spaces at Neon. And he's gonna install those for us.
Great.
And they're also LED lights. And then he's been replacing some stuff that needed replacing and fixing things. At all four brands. I don't think he's fixed anything here, but he's fixed things for us at Whitesburg and Jenkins and Neon.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
Okay. now I
Like
need a
that.
motion.
Yeah,
Okay, second,
second.
okay.
33, thank you very much.
Off.
I think we're done. Did you guys,
Yeah, I got
did you have
some.
cake?
Oh, we didn't have cake yet.
We need to, each need to.
There's something I want to ask if we're offline.